And after he said that, the last couple games he stopped shooting essentially, and there's just, you know, a great player, Bernard. I don't know if you feel this way. This is how I look at it. Makes other players around him better. I just have not seen that from this group of superstars that the Knicks have right now.
Well, the chemistry hasn't developed as everyone hoped it would. Obviously, Mello being from New York feels the need to carry a great deal of the weight on his shoulders. But when you have certainly a guy like Amari, who's an all-star, all-pro player, certainly he needs to be able to have an impact on the game. Those are the two captains of the team, so they have to provide the leadership for this team. Certainly the organization knew that in losing Chauncey Billups, an experienced point guard, and going to a rookie in Stromberg, you can't put all the weight on a rookie. He's still developing, and I think he has to be more of a distributor as opposed to a shooter to try to really get them into their half-court sets to be more effective guys.
Bernard, as a superstar yourself, don't you find it unacceptable that the two superstars on this team are acting, behaving, and playing it the way they're playing? Because they can't, I mean, listen, you have those two guys on your team, and obviously we're talking about Amari and Carmello, and they are clearly not coexisting. It's oil and water right now. Don't you find that unacceptable that superstars are not getting it right?
Well, speaking of to Amari, he and Mello, they have a great relationship.
Socially they do, but not on the court they don't.
Well, they talk all the time, and that's a very important part of it, that you have communication, whether it's on the court or away from the court, and it just means that they're both on the same page. They're committed to winning, and that's the bottom line. I think that the chemistry will start to develop for these guys. They are leaders in their own right, and I think that Coach D'Antoni, he's put some new wrinkles in from the offensive standpoint, and they're just going to have to do a much better job of defending. If they can defend in the transition offense, get the rebounds, come down, get the ball moving, find some open shots instead of taking the quick jump shots that leads to fast breaks. And a team like Miami that they're playing tonight, a dominant defensive team, can take advantage of that because they like to play zone.
You know, it's kind of interesting. You know, you talked about Miami. Okay, Dwayne Wade, LeBron James, and Chris Bosh, somehow they've gotten their act together. But I will say this. You don't have to look that far back into the history of the Knicks to see two superstars coming together who essentially play the same position, but yet were able to share not only the ball but the court together, and Earl of Pearl and Walt Frazier. And to me, it's just it just makes no sense to me, Bernard, that these two players, Amari and Carmello, who play two distinctly different positions, can't seem to get their act together.
Well, you spoke of Clyde and Earl Monroe, two of my all-time favorites, and I have the honor of working every night for them. Well, not every night, but some games with Clyde on the MSG network, and it's been fun. We have a great deal of chemistry between us in working the ball games, and MSG does a great job broadcasting that. But in terms of the two players being able to mesh in terms of Amari and Carmello, you have to keep in mind, guys, and the fans, I think, should keep this in mind. You brought in Tyson Chandler, which is a great addition, certainly at that center position, blocking shots and rebounding. But you also have Shepard in the backcourt. And Carmello and Amari are still trying to figure it out. They came together last year, was pretty effective in the second part of the year together after that trade. But they're still trying to figure it out. And I think, from my perspective, I'm going record in saying this, because I remember when I joined the Knicks, we started with 0-7, correct?
Yeah, but Bernard, here's my... Listen, don't be a company guy here, all right?
No, what I'm saying...
Well, Bernard King, listen, I love you, you know this, but...
You know that, but
here's the deal, Bernard.
Hold on, let me finish this point. We started off 0-7.
Right.
When I was with the ball club. You can't do that in New York.
Of course.
And I got injured. The guys went on to win 5 games in a row, which I was very pleased about, obviously. I came back and, fit right in, and we hit our stride. In the second half of the year, we had the second best record in the league.
Right.
And the point I'm making, when you have two superstars like Amari and Carmello, they're going to figure it out. Just as Miami last year, when they got off to their very bad start, and everyone was dumping on those guys, if you recall that.
Of course.
And they turned everything around. And
here's the problem, Bernard, and it's a problem, and you're going to admit it's a problem right now, all right? The Knicks obviously don't have a point guard that can be trusted right now. Who knows about Baron Davis and his health? The fact that we're counting on Baron Davis, I mean, hopefully Baron Davis can play. I mean, I don't know if he can anymore because of his health in the back and all that stuff. And you and I both agree, because we've talked about it many, many times, at least I have in fake conversations with you, that Mike D'Antoni's not the right coach for this team or this town. Come on.
Well, I've never said Mike D'Antoni is not the right coach for this team.
You're going to say it right now. Do you think Mike D'Antoni can lead the Knicks to the playoffs?
You have no record of that, Carton.
He's not. Listen, I don't care what Bill Walton says. You guys are all